Before the pages of ancient history were written, before the creation of Adam, the cosmos held a terrifying power. We are told of the angels, beings of light who obey the divine command without hesitation. But there was another race, born not of light, but of the scorching heat of smokeless fire, the Jinn. Among these volatile spirits rose one whose piety was unmatched. His name was Iblis. He was not an angel, yet his worship was so intense that he was elevated to the highest heavens, walking where only the pure dare to tread. He was God's most devout worshiper, the master of the unseen world. But fire is dangerous, and he did not know that even the brightest flame can cast the darkest shadow. For thousands of years, Iblis stood as a shining beacon within the kingdom of heaven. Legends of ancient history tell us that his forehead touched every corner of the sky in absolute submission to the Almighty. He was not merely a worshiper. He was a warrior of spiritual warfare, the peacock of the angels, who banished the corrupt Jinn from the earth to restore divine order. But in the reflection of his own glory, a dangerous poison took root. Surrounded by perfection, he began to admire his own blazing light, forgetting the source that ignited it. He stopped viewing his rank as a gift of divine grace and claimed it as a right earned by his own merit. In the silence of his heart, his ego whispered that he was superior to all creation, blinding him to the tragic truth that his pride was already paving the road to his ultimate destruction. Then came the decree that would change ancient history. The Almighty announced the creation of Adam, a vicegerent forged not from the majesty of smokeless fire, but from dark-sounding clay. Iblis, glowing with ethereal pride, descended to inspect this lifeless shell lying on the desert floor. He tapped the hollow chest of the first human, listening to the echo of its fragility with utter disdain. Where the Creator saw a masterpiece, Iblis saw only filth. He compared his blazing nature to this static mud and reasoned with a fatal logic. Fire rises and purifies, but earth sinks and dirties. Therefore, he was superior. In that moment, the seeds of racism and cosmic envy were planted as he looked upon the origin of man not as a brother, but as an object unworthy of his respect. The silence of the cosmos was shattered when the Almighty breathed his divine spirit into Adam, and the lifeless clay was suddenly flushed with the warmth of existence. In that moment of perfection, the divine command thundered through the heavens, ordering the angels to prostrate, not in worship, but in absolute respect. Instantly, the celestial host collapsed in a wave of humility, a sea of light lowering itself to the ground. Yet one solitary figure remained standing, rigid as stone. Iblis refused to bow. When asked why he defied the Creator, he spoke the words that would birth the origin of evil. With supreme arrogance, he declared, "I am better than him. You created me from fire, and you created him from mud." By choosing his ego over his Lord, the most devout worshiper severed his eternal bond, transforming himself into Satan and initiating the tragic fall that would haunt the universe forever. The verdict was immediate and devastating. Get out. In a heartbeat, the banishment began, and the celestial light that had clothed him for millennia was ripped away. The warm amber glow of the smokeless fire faded from his skin, replaced by the ashen gray of despair, while his eyes, once filled with knowledge, turned cold and predatory. He was no longer Iblis, the teacher of angels. He was now Satan, the adversary, known forever as Al-Rajim, the outcast. He plummeted from the highest heavens to the lowest earth, crashing into the darkness of his own making. Yet, even in this pit of humiliation, his pride prevented him from seeking forgiveness. Instead, he begged for a reprieve until the day of judgment, not to repent, but to secure time for his eternal revenge against the children of Adam. God granted the request, allowing the ultimate test of free will to unfold. With time on his side, the fallen one made his terrifying vow. Because you have sent me astray, I will lie in wait for them on your straight path. He swore to ambush humanity from every angle, ensuring true gratitude would be rare. Thus began the spiritual warfare that has raged invisibly throughout human history. This is not a battle of swords, but a war of whispers, the waswasa that breathes doubt into the heart. He plays on the same arrogance that caused his own fall, working tirelessly to dim your light. The story of Iblis is a living warning. The battle is internal, the stakes are your soul, and the question remains, will you listen to the whisper or guard yourself against the eternal enemy?